I don't know.
You are live.
I'm live.
And you can
Hey, watch the stream. Okay, this makes it easy. So yeah, because you can't hear my stream. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to actually edit that too as well and make sure it doesn't. I'm gonna have to check it via both things.
and say turn volume down on this.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good idea. I'll probably turn it down to like 2. That way I can hear the quality at least somewhat.
yeah,
Okay,
it's loading.
it's loading up. Is it going? Is it? Comment section is up. We got comments, we got shares, we got stuff like that. Okay. And it looks like it's working. It's slow, but it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
It's just slowly behind.
Let me see how. I want to see it in my phone and see how it's doing. Because I know I'm streaming now. So let's go to my channel. Why is that set up like that?
Let's go to my channel.
Okay, we got someone in chat. That's me.
Why is that set up like that? Let's go to my channel.
That's me. Yeah.
Okay, we got someone in chat. That's me. Why is that set up like that? Let's go to my channel. That's me. Yeah. Okay, we got someone in chat.
Oh, that's actually working pretty well. Okay, so okay, it's working. Stream started 90 seconds ago.
94 seconds ago.
So it looks like everything's working. I'm gonna go back to here and check everything out. I only really want to watch the comments, and we'll see if this chat actually works. If this chat doesn't work for the next, if it doesn't actually have any chat coming in, I hope they enjoy that I actually was able to pull this off.
Now, did you close out of your YouTube on your phone?
Mm-hmm. That's just this. This is at 2, so you can't really hear that on here. It doesn't really show that, so hopefully. But
Well, the only reason I was asking is because it looks like you have one person watching there.
I did at one point. It was me, but or it could be
one watching now.
I'm out of the stream, so someone else is watching now. Awesome. We're gonna go to the full screen here. See how it looks. Actually, we probably won't even need a full screen, to be honest. We're just gonna go to chat. No, let's get out of this real quick. Get out of that. I want to check my comments. I'm gonna keep an eye on my live chat right here. This is what I want.
Yeah.
They can't see that, but I can. Unless no, because I have them locked. I have the stuff locked, so it can't be changed. Pretty sure. I got him. Yeah, that's how it is. It's exactly this because I'm watching it right now. Now let's see what's going on right here. Notifications. Oh, it's mobile. Okay. All right, so here's comment section right here, and here's the live comment section right here. I did it! Yay! So it's recording, and we've got that's working. We'll go back to here, but I wonder if I change something. I'm going to take this off. Exit out of full screen. Come on. I'll go here, and I can go to stream if I want to, right? By doing what? Doing that. It looks like it's working. I'm going to stay in this chat right here because it might help. It might be right.
Yeah.
Invalid parchment. How do I... That doesn't work. So I guess I won't be able to do that. Oh, link right here. I forgot how to get there. I could let just do this though, right? Yeah, I can. I don't know if it's gonna change it. Actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. Hmm. Okay, so let's see what happens if I do this. To change it? No, it's locked. It's absolutely locked.
Yeah.
Yep, it works. It works. Hey guys, Evan Alphonse here, signing on for today. We'll be going over the revised copy of the book, the series I'm making. Sorry, and I think it went out without a hitch, in my opinion. It has a couple of flaws that I can add to it and stuff like that, but besides that, I mean, it's a good start to a series. I think a good opening. We changed the opening of it. Um, we made it a little more on the sketchy side. I made it more on the sketchy side of this one for the screens. You guys can read it right now. We're on line 1 through 55. If I checked that correctly, should be on line 55. It looks like.
Yeah, it's showing 1 through 55.
It's showing 55 through here, and it should be showing. I can't actually read that.
Yeah, it's showing the same thing on there.
I know it's showing the same thing. I just don't know how much it's showing. I think if it's showing the full screen, then it's showing 55. So I should be able to clearly say that it's showing from line 55 from where in time we are set up in this series to the morning of the series starting. So to go over a quick run over of this series is about the god of creation and destruction. He is a god, but he is the god of both creation and destruction. He's the main one. He's the main head honcho, and then everyone else that's the other gods and goddesses are the ones underneath him. They have specific sets, but he has more select set of skills that the other ones do. So he's above them, but he's way too above them right now because he's still learning. He's only been there for 162 years now. He was 18 when he became God. We know that from the first copy of this that he was once human, but the way I have it set up now, that is, if everyone hasn't seen it or has seen it yet, is I haven't mentioned that he was human once, and we haven't mentioned who we're looking for until like we saw in the last video that I made on this, the last scene, where he confesses to Naomi of being a god. And that's it. That's where it ends. It leaves on a cliffhanger. That's how I wanted it to end. So right now we're gonna go through some of the stuff that I have changed and stuff like that from the original. I actually went back and changed the whole entire intro. I actually made it longer, and I went more into depth of him talking, of Edmund talking. We have Edmund says that, "Hi, my name is Evan Alphonse. I am a god. I am a god of both creation and destruction." And he knows that the people that are going to be reading this are stereotypical about, like, oh yeah, like this is you're a god of this and that, and there's more than just. It's now you're saying you're a god. You're not just the god. You're a god. So you're of multiple gods and or maybe goddesses, which I brush up on here as well. So We have him saying, "Yeah, I know how it sounds, but hear me out." That's what he's brushing up on. And I know I've been doing this job for 162 years now. Ah, yeah, I love that I keep on finding those because that's the stuff. No, now doing this for 162 years. He's been counting. He knows how long he's been doing this for because he's been searching and searching and searching for this person for a long ass time. As soon as he came in there, 2 years after he started searching, so probably actually 160 years actually. So he spent 2 years training. Let's try. Yeah, so that's what we're going to use. The name of this place will be Rosette. Rosette will be the place that he trains. It's basically the hyperbolic time chamber. It stuns time for a certain amount of time, and it's like since it's already in another dimension. So it's the world that I've set up for where they're at is not really what we're going to touch up on yet, but I'll let you know that this place that they're at is different from any other place. It's a different dimension, different world, different everything. It's its own thing separately.
Yeah.
Where he's at right now before he goes to Japan in the past. And I also changed the timeline. I changed it to a little further because I had the year wrong for what I needed for his age to be when he was because he was 18 when he became a god. He was human before that. So when he turned 21, that's where he stunned his growth. Whenever you become a god or goddess, you stun your growth wherever you need it to be to make it more feasible of where you're at, make it more interesting. But he can also change his growth. That way, he can go and search for someone and or a place or something if he so desires. That way, he's I guess nimble because he's still human. It, the godly being is only a state of being. So it's more like human is the base state, and then he can go into his deity form. But they stay in that deity form, so they're always in it basically. So it becomes their main form after a while, and they have to make the human form their own. But Edvin's been doing this for so long, it only took them like one try to find theirs, and then the other gods and goddesses have been doing this for like thousands of years, while the main god was searching for them. He literally picked them out. That was it. He picked the humans because he knew what he was doing because he'd been doing it for since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
And we'll just call him God. He's basically just God. And then once he passed away, he picked a successor, which was Edwin Alphonse. Now, his predecessor, God, also had a goddess, but she also passed away. So, what we have here is the overview of basically everything that's been going on and what his life's about, like that. Not all. And Edwin Alphonse's chambers. Every god and goddess have their own chambers, but they also have a second chamber of their own where they both basically live together because they're both for this to work the way I want it to. They have to form a type of relationship and a kind of an intimate relationship because they are both of the same descent of themselves. They both use the same power. They all use the same thing. So basically, like in this line right here, let's go to other thing that you need to know is that like the god, the goddess have basically the same power, meaning they are one and the same. So only a goddess of fire can handle a god of fire. So for instance, in this story, we have Ember, and then we have, I think I have Travis. I have Travis with Ember, with being Ember and Travis being their counterparts. So Ember and Travis are one and the same. So that's what we have for that. And then we have another set that I didn't really brush up on. Her name is Levy. I haven't actually set her up with a specific. It could be machinery, because if I remember correctly, there's a series I really like about a girl named Levy. If you guys remember, there's a series called Fairy Tale, and there's a girl named Levy in there. She's really good with like certain. She has a really cool certain skill set that no one else really has, and it's more like on the mechanical side, I would have to say. I don't know how to really describe it. It's more like, because they mostly deal with magic, so that basically only deal with magic until they get to a certain season and they start dealing with other stuff. Spoilers if you haven't seen Fairy Tale, but that series is like, I would have to gander maybe 5+ years now, at least.
Yeah.
So, so I guess Levy could be on the magic side of the spectrum, because there are other planes of existence where I want there to be magic and or key and stuff like that, where it's like I really like those aspects of those type of powers that people have, where not only is it superpowers, but you got also a specific thing, like energy is all around us. It's not just, well, technically energy is like inside of us and we pull it out, and then there's something like in Naruto, chakra is also inside you. It flows through your veins, and then in um I can't remember what it's called. I can't think of what it was called. It's an older series. It's a really old series, but it's really good too. I can't even think of what it was called. Um, well, you first start out the series, and we'll get back to that later. But basically, they're in this instance of this series that I have here. This is set up in its own spectrum of itself. It's in a whole nother thing in itself. It doesn't have any right now. It doesn't have any correlation with anything else right now. I plan on it later for it to be a correlation with other stuff, but right now it is not. It's just got multiple universes that we haven't really seen yet, and I haven't really designated to yet. So right now we're in the plane of existence called the. I said it a while ago. The. What did I call the place? It was Celestial Planes. I set this part right here where we're at right now in the year 2076. We're in the Celestial Planes right now. This is the Celestial Planes is where the gods and goddesses and all of them live, and where they all roam and stuff like that. And like I said, it's their own little thing. It's like its own little bubble. It's by itself, and then everything else is everywhere else around it. It's like the center of the multiverse in this case. So, speaking of which, I actually plan on making this a multiverse type of deal where they're looking for stuff and they're actually fixing things. So like, if something goes wrong and it shouldn't have gone that far, these gods and goddesses get involved and fix that and make sure it goes back to normal. They have a power just like Edwin does, which is called Time Sphere. And if I remember correctly, last episode I brushed up on this power. This power basically stops time and then rewrites time and, well, not only time but history itself. So it goes back as far as how old he is. So in this case, it's 2014. He is 18 at this point. This is how old he is. He's 18.
Yeah.
At this point, that's where he's at. He's on his own. He doesn't have a family. They're all dead, basically. They're not in this time. They're not in this universe. So, at all. So, I should be able to. I wonder if I can do this. I wonder what happens, because I know I have it locked. Ah, it does. Okay, I didn't know it did that. Okay, that's cool to know. Even though I have it locked, it goes out of it. But if I go to the because it's a camera, so I could basically take this down and add up and holy shit, I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry, guys. This is literally my first time ever actually doing this. I found an app that allows me to split screens. This is the first screen right here that has my camera on it. It's actually my Chromebook computer, and then the one on the right is my TV that's hooked up to my computer. So right now, what I could do is I actually could. That's why I can go to a new tab because it's actually just accessing my mic and my camera. So
Yeah.
I can actually go to another one and not have to worry about it. And then and that's why I'm able to go to YouTube. That makes sense. Why I'm able to go to my video and check it out.
Yeah.
So right now I'm gonna go to chat because I don't think the chat is actually working in the light stream. Is what I'm using. Is if you guys are wondering, I'm using an app called Lightstream. It's really cool. Really enjoy it. It's really neat. And it's free. Everything that I've done on it so far to get it set up was free. And if you want the full extended version, I plan on doing that later on because it only allows up to 4 hours worth of streaming capability. So that means I gotta watch my time. So yeah, there's that thing. Oh look, it's a shark. Sorry, I'm looking at another one of my friend's videos. It's really neat. It's really funny. He's getting eaten by a shark. That's his. That's his. The more you know. We'll go to my videos. Yep. Go to my videos. And we'll go to my live stream that's happening right now. We got to go to. I didn't do this right. Okay, so let me do this. Let's go here. My channel.
There you go.
I mean, I'm on it, but it's not the same one. I'm trying to do this one right here. I don't know why I have a I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I actually have a Scorpion and Sub-Zero picture because that one was from an old video. I thought I deleted it already. So I actually am going to turn this down the rest of the way. Maybe just one. Oh, yeah, I know that's working. But you guys have any questions about this series at all? I am more than welcome. I'm more than happy to answer any of the questions that you guys have on this series. But I'm gonna go over the episode mostly and basically just the first season of it first. I gotta check this full screen real quick. I gotta make sure this is set up right. Oh, it is. It is. I'm just gonna fucking. I hate when this happens. This is a pain in the ass. Can I just? Okay, good. Okay, it's back to normal. No, damn it. I don't care about that. I don't need that. I know what's happening. I'm just gonna fucking delete this. I'm just gonna delete it. Call it good. I'm guessing it's true that no one's asking questions, but that's fine. I'm more looking forward to getting this edited down and then seeing your questions afterward. So, because this is just gonna be a video. This is just a video idea that I had the other day, and I just got finished done with the other one. And I've got in store the second episode here too. I haven't started it yet, but I can tell you what to expect. I didn't change much. I haven't even started it yet, so there's nothing here. But we only have the first episode right now. I haven't really started on it yet, but I'm going to. Seeing as long as it actually took me to actually make the video and to write the content itself, it's going to take me a little while to get the second episode done. But it would be good to have some other people jumping on this project. It'd be really awesome. called Project Edwin Alphonse. This is something a long time. It's been a long time coming. I didn't even think about it until I was thinking about my book one day. I was thinking about it and was like, I should rewrite it, but I don't think I have anything to do because I was going to play a game on my computer, just because I didn't feel like streaming at the time. So I was just like, I'll just play a game. And then I was searching through. I was like, I really do want to get back into this, but there's nothing I can do about typing or scripting right now for me to change this. And then I started searching through my feeds of what I can look at on my Chromebook, and I found something called text, and found out that I can type it all down. So I'm actually gonna do this. Is this on there? I don't know. This thing's in the way. So
Yeah, your cursor's on.
oh, here it is. There we go. That works. That works. Okay. This feature. Okay, that's fine. That works. I'm okay with that. That's cool to know. I'm looking at all the stuff that show me that I can do about the upgraded feature. I mean, I don't have to worry about the upgraded feature right now. I'm only 26 minutes in. So, and that's pretty good. I mean, I only plan on having this, even though this video is not going to be, I don't plan on it being 4 hours long, but later on, I mean, I can now, people have wanted me on this channel to look at their content. So what I could do now is I can use this computer over here. I mean this this monitor over here as to search for the content and look and watch the videos now and watch it in live time.
Yeah.
So I could eventually do that. That would work, I think, but I'm gonna have to do that on a time where the internet's working a little faster, and I would have to switch to the 5G network and not the 2G. Because this is 2G network, and it's not that good. So I would have to do this while like at night. So, but it's good to have this though, because now that I can set this up and send this to YouTube, I can this once this ends this stream, this will probably go up to YouTube since it's live. And stuff like that. So let's get back into this. I've been sidetracking a little bit here. What was your favorite part in this so far? Do you think? There's a lot here. There's when they go to Japan, when it goes in there, it shows some of his kids. For the record, not only did he make a house, but he made like roads that go to main roads and stuff like that, and then set them up as actual had street names and stuff like that. And then and now they're on the map. So once he stopped time, once he used his time sphere, not only did he make the streets, but since he used time sphere, it rewrote time and made sure those were on modern maps. Like right now, like you could go to your phone and be like, oh, this street is right here. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I forgot that street existed, or I didn't know that street existed. Like, of course you know, you're not really paying attention or something like that. But what was your favorite part in this? You giggled a couple times reading it. So
yeah, there was a few spots in there that were good. That did give me a little bit of a laugh, but it's one of them. It's going to take a little getting used to how the story is set up.
You're going to have to use your like I'm going to say to everyone now, you're going to have to use your imagination for this, because this is written in script. This isn't set up as in like a first person or third person thing at all. So I will try to explain what kind of mentality you should have when you're reading this, because there's a lot going on in my head that I have that I want people to see, because I want this, after this script is done, after I get like so many episodes of this done for the script, I actually have to find people that are going to be willing to do this. and have to see the big picture of this because I want this to go big. I plan I don't know if I said this in the last stream or not, but I plan this series plans on I plan on this series being about 3 seasons long, and each season is gonna have at least I am on my stream. Good. Okay. Well, that's not that happy. It still doesn't make me that happy. I'm still trying to get rid of her. She's fucked up a lot of my shit. You see that fucking chair? Not and a half. She got all the way down the damn thing. This thing was perfectly fine. I've had this thing for almost 2 years now. I've had this since my first apartment. But honestly, like I said, this series is going to be about 3 seasons, give or take, maybe more if I feel so. If we want more seasons for just this series, because there are plenty more ideas that I have that are going forward in the story to extend the story even more. So just the series, this prize series, will probably be about 3 to 4 seasons long. First season is going to be primarily based. This is what I want to talk about. The first season is going to be primarily based of he finds the goddess that he's looking for, the human that's going to become a goddess. This episode, like I said, not this episode, but this season, as well as there are going to be some training regimens that are be going on for this. They're going to be probably going back to the celestial planes to train. That way they can do it, but he has to try to convince her to come with him. So he's going to have to show her some pretty cool stuff that he can do. There's a lot of stuff he can do, and I can't wait to show it to you guys what he can do. There's a lot of it. There's he can do some key elemental stuff. He's able to ponder abilities and stuff like that. And there's one main ability that I really like that I don't want to bring out yet because he's not going to use it until he gets control of his powers. He's able to do it, but not to its full extent right now. He's able to maybe multiply the power that he exceeds when he copies the power that he ponders, and then basically sends it back at them about maybe 15% right now, which is still very powerful.
Yeah.
Considering because whatever he ponders, that ability gets switched over to the other ability, which is I have it as Ultimaximus. Is that what I said? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ultimaximus is a power I created that's trademarked by me. I don't want anyone stealing that. It is mine. It took me a while to figure this out, to figure out what it does. So, since Edvin is a deity, a higher being, he has his own power scaling than humans do. So people go by feats of strength of how much they can lift, or how far they can run, how long they can hold their breath, or stuff like that. Just like stamina feats and stuff like that. Yeah. They have that, but it's far more different. It's a much higher scale. So what happens is that with this move, Ultimaximus is a move that copies a move that they used, and it puts it on their scale and multiplies it by what its maximum output could be at a higher being's power level of what they're at. It maximizes it, but it comes at a price. It does hurt them. They can only use it so many times, but once they use Ultimaximus, once he uses Ultimaximus, it also automatically activates Ponder, which is why it's such a draining move to do, because it activates different moves. Because you got to ponder the ability to be able to learn it, and then you have to use the other move to be able to use the move and to maximize its output. So right now, Edvin, since he's in a state of being untapped and he's not able to control his powers very well, he had to set up boundaries for himself. He created two seals on his shoulders, and then the one that he has on his back, he says is a tattoo, but that's his primary one that everyone's allowed to see. So humans, demons, deities, and all that stuff, all that jazz. Everyone can see it. He has it set up to where they can, but the other ones on his shoulders, they can't. Deities can, but no one else can.
Yeah.
So to be able to, that's what he does that's what they do, and that's what he does to try to find the human he's looking for. It makes it easy for him to find. So he doesn't go for like a bad boy type vibe. He's more like he's I remember reading the story. It was more like he's a nice guy. He's a really good guy, but he has a big sense of justice and of what is right and what is wrong, and he will do excessive action. Like once he sees that, he nips it right in the ass. He doesn't want it escalating.
Yeah.
If he's focused on someone, he's going to stay focused on that person because he has an interest for that person. And if something comes in his way to do it, he's going to check them real quick. So, because he's checking the whole entire world right now.
Yeah.
So not only is he going to check this world in this timeline, he's going to check all of them. But he lucked out finally after 162 years of finding her in the first episode. So that's good. But he may have found her. That's not to say how gaining her trust and stuff like that. He's got to do that. But he kind of did a little thing for her. He saved her from a guy that was more bully than anything else. That's what I have him set as. And then later on, further in the series, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but further in the series, we're gonna see Niall again. We'll be seeing a little more of him, but we'll be seeing a lot more of him towards the next couple seasons. So look forward to seeing what I do with him, because like I said before, I do plan on him being the antagonist, whereas Edwin Alphonse is the protagonist and Naomi is the heroine of the story.
Yeah.
She's the main character he is looking for. That's going to set things right for him to be able to live longer than he already has, because his powers are getting way too out of hand. So,
see now, I understand it a little more with how you're talking about it. I'm putting it more into perspective with Mortal Instruments, where they can see where the girl, the main character, the girl can see those symbols.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where I'm depicting it as something like that.
It's gonna be something like that. There are gonna be certain elements like there will be certain beings like that will be in the series. Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely they will be, because I really like them, and they're of like let's see, Immortal Instruments is based around what Greek, or is it more of just like fantasy based? I'm not sure where
it's almost like it's a Greek fantasy.
A Greek fantasy, but those characters are from Greek mythology, so
yeah,
most of them are anyway. I think I've seen a couple of them that are from Greek. I mean, vampires and stuff like that also are involved in Greek mythology. They are there.
Yeah.
They are there. They're just, you don't see a whole lot of them. You got gargoyles and stuff like that. They're of Greek descent as well. They're of all descent basically, but of all the mythology descents. So I am to say that I will be following some of the Greek, Norse, and Egyptian descent stuff like that. That stuff will probably be in here. Certain more of the demon based stuff that come in, like I think it's going to be either season 2 or season 3 that's come about. They're not going to be a big threat in the first season, because the first season is going to be primary based around Edwin and Naomi. That'll be the main set of this series for the first season, and then the second season, towards the half of the first season, we'll probably get some training. It probably won't be till the next one, and that's probably gonna be the cliffhanger for that. Is where they're training her, and then it'll be 1 year right there, and they'll go over to the next year, and that'll be her 2 years of training that she needed, and then she can go off and then help him. We'll probably get a snippet of when this stuff goes in like big stuff, and when it gets like animated and stuff like this. Hopefully, because I want this to be a visual novel. That was the big goal of this, because I wanted this to be a book, but the big picture was to not just make it a book, make it a visual novel, a long visual novel that was basically a book, like a 500 some page book that was a visual novel. But because it normally a visual novel will take you, I think my last stream I did, it took anywhere from 12 hours of gameplay to finish it, but it was a big one. There was some stuff in it, but this one's just primary, just visual novel. There's no like stuff to do. There might be like lines that you might be able to pick. I don't know what I plan to do. It might just be visual novel based, and then it'll be like roaming around, kind of like Hyperdimension Neptunia. I don't know if most people know what that is, but that's a really cool game that was turned into a series. And I do believe it's on Crunchyroll. If anyone wants to watch that, that's a really good watch. It's really funny. It's really cool. It's got a good storyline. It's got really good fight scenes. It's got really great animation. I got to give it that. But getting back to this, like I said, creation is basically anything that he wants to bring materialize from other world to this world.
Yeah.
So anything he wants to create, he can bring. That's his creation. That's what he does. And then he has the same thing for destruction, or wiping anything from existence is what his destruction is.
Yeah.
But he has that. But that's just basic knowledge, though, for multiple deities or gods. If they're destroying something, they wipe it from existence. And it's been shown throughout like Greek mythology and stuff like that happened. Like Ragnarok, for instance, Ragnarok wiped out most of Norse mythology, but they were reborn, because that's what happens. Whenever they pass on, they are reborn in another life. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But that's basically one instance that you have there. You have other instances in comics and stuff like that where something was wiped and then either wasn't brought back or was brought back in a different way for a different adaptation of a character. Superman, for instance, he was brought in with a bunch of different types of character developments. We had 52, Superman 52, whatever it was. That was supposed to be a less strong version of Superman, but he was more in keen with his powers. Yeah. Whereas you had the original Superman, where he was like untamed and he was so powerful that he could pretty much lift an infinite amount of weight. And it was stated in the comics that he lifted more than 75% of that weight of the book, of the Infinity Book, I think is what it was called. Mm-hmm. And he lifted that. And he was the main one lifting it of the Justice League. The whole Justice League got involved, but Superman was the main one lifting that book. Yeah. That's a good read too. I would honestly want to read. I would say I'm going to read that, because that's a really cool thing. Because his power is, from what we understand of Superman, is unlimited. But as with Edvin is an interstellar being. Is a different being entirely. He's not only human, but he's also of God descent at this point now. He's been doing this for so long. He's been sucked in his God form for a long time as well. There's some stuff that's going to go into his backstory that you'll get to learn of how he got to harness his powers and how he stayed in his God form for a long period of time, and then he made it his main state, but he's still able to go to his human state because he had to go and do and visit so many worlds, so many dimensions, so many timelines and stuff like that, just to try to find someone and not to be able to find them, and finally being able to find them. Because the sequel to this is going to be of him becoming. So it's going to start from when he was 18, and it's going to be like, man, life sucks right now. And something's going to be bad. It's going to be bad enough for him to want to think about I'll take that deal because someone comes to him to
Yeah.
offer him this, and I still have to come up with that. That was the first book I had. The first first book idea I had in mind when I was making it was to set up the backstory to Edwin Alphonse, but I found it easier to set up Edwin Alphonse as now because I already know what his powers are and what they do, but I don't know how to really go about setting up the training regimen yet of that, but I have an idea now where Edvin's going to be training her. All the gods trained him, and that's how he got stronger than them. Because they thought he was going to learn, he was going to find the goddess sooner rather than later. They all did, but he hasn't. He's had no luck. It's hard for him because he's the only one of his descent. He's the god of creation and destruction. Whereas these other gods and goddesses, like god of fire, god of machines, god of magic, all this stuff like darkness, light, all this stuff, just like certain things, just to throw out there. That's their specific thing. But he also has those because he is the main one. He learned that from them.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to learn creation and destruction, you had to learn the other ones and then basically do something else. I will come up with something for that later on, but to learn about those powers about him and maybe speak up about his training a little bit in this series. Maybe when he's training her, he's probably going to endow with knowledge that he got from all the gods and goddesses and give it to her. She will probably be just as powerful as him because they'll be one and the same once she becomes a goddess. Right? Once Naomi becomes a goddess. So next thing is we've got a lot of stuff in this episode that I haven't changed a whole lot. There's some stuff I want to add to it to get a little longer. I don't think it's long enough to be a full episode to leave off on. I mean, it's good where it ends, but where he just leaves it on a cliffhanger and announces that he is a god today. And kind of has to. That way, no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
Because it could be a big thing, thing happen, and could pretty much send the world in ruins, probably because of certain actions that could be. Since they know you, they're just like, "Oh, could you do this for me?" and stuff like that, and they won't work for it themselves, and you want them to do that because since you're God, you want them to do it because it's their life. They need to live it as they do. You don't want to change their life just because they want you to, and they don't want to do it because it's hard. I mean, that's just how. That's why the Bible is what it is. With like God, He doesn't really get involved in certain things. There are other things that He will do, but there's certain things that He won't mess with. That He knows is bad if He tries to. Though I do believe He made it to where He couldn't actually steer them clear of something like He can't make someone love someone or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
or bring people back from the dead or stuff, stupid stuff, or like serious stuff like that. But see, we're at 48 minutes right now. But that's basically what we have. We only have a few things here to really brush up on. Maybe some of the stuff. Episode 2 of season 1. We have. I don't have anything set up yet. I do have plans for it. I don't know. Opening, but I'm not sure. It's going to be different. It's probably going to be. I'm probably just going to put something like the overview of the last one. So I'm gonna make sure that when I come to this episode and then it comes to the project at hand to make it into the visual novel, to brush back up of the old episode that we just went over and make a couple points of what happened during the episode of those scenes that happened in the last episode. So, and then it goes to the next one. screen change next episode.
Yeah.
What it is. So that's what we'll have. This thing's gonna be huge. It's gonna be very, very huge. It's gonna probably be bigger than any visual novel that I personally know of. There's a lot of them, and they're all about 12 to maybe 20, if that, hours long in total gameplay. If they have something interesting like clicking to what, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to go this route. But this one has a specific story. This is a storytelling, this is a screen written storytelling visual novel. This is what you look through, you get to see what's going on and stuff like that. And it, you can't really change it. It's not made to be changed. It's a series that I wanted to create, but I find it easier to do it like this first. That way, hopefully it gets a bigger following, and we can turn it into something more.
Yeah.
Maybe get some more people into it that could probably voice them. Probably in that industry, maybe, because it is going to be stationed out in Japan for a good portion of it. So we will need some people who can speak Japanese and stuff like that for the character development. So you'll need people for like, I'll probably be teaching Nagano how to speak English, but we'll probably do that off camera. So we'll probably have a person that already knows how to speak English, and they'll be off camera that she learns some Japanese, some lines that are on here that are Japanese that she'll need to learn for this. So it'll be a few episodes, or maybe probably most of the first season. So we'll need someone who can both speak Japanese and English. So we're gonna have a character that's gonna be speaking English. That's pretty good at English, but is still getting used to it. So that's what we're gonna probably have.
No.
Because we're gonna have someone for Edwin Alphonse to speak Japanese, who's fluent in it, but has a fluent background in English because he's from Italy. He can speak Italian, but he can also speak English and learns Japanese once he visits Japan. Because the thing for guys is once they travel to a specific area, or a specific world, they learn all the knowledge and all the stuff that they need to know and how to speak certain languages of wherever they go.
Yeah.
They're able to do that. That way, they're able to make conversation because they can't speak in their tongue or in English tongue because most of them are not going to be able to understand it. They might be able to catch a few words or a few like phrases and stuff like that because they teach English as a second language and stuff like that, or like English class in Japan and stuff like that. I know that for a fact. I know that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the primary languages that they teach there. I think that's like probably the main one because it's probably the main universal language out there. So I'm not really too sure on that kind of aspect. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why, because they travel here a lot. See. Probably gonna be hesitant to erase her memory. So there might be a couple chances that he might think about doing it, but it probably won't because he thinks she can keep a secret, and whatever he shows her is gonna be something to wow her, to show her like, yeah, that I am who I say I am. I'm not lying to you. You have to believe me, stuff like that. And she will probably be like, prove it and stuff like that. And he shows her some of the powers, some of the cooler ones, some of the more aspects where he can make like some of creation stuff or some elemental stuff, probably. Being able to combine certain elements to create something else like snow or like snowflakes, like making actual like ice with water and ice to create it freezing and create a little image out of it. Try to do stuff like that. Wipe away some of the clouds and be able to show more of the stars out at the night. Stuff like that. This stuff to wow her, to show her what she would be getting into and stuff like that if you were to join us and stuff like that. The cool parts of this, and
Yeah.
not to worry about the hard parts about this, because, like I said, Edvin was 18 when he became a god, which means he's been doing this job for 162 years, which makes him 180 years old. So that means anyone in his family could probably be, almost everyone in his family could be dead right now. But there could be a select few that are still around, but that's from newer gen. Nothing from like his old childhood, like his father or his mother or his grandma, his best friend. It would mostly probably be people from like his sister's probably passed away by now, stuff like that. He's supposed to have a sister, so that's gonna be cool to get into when we get into his backstory. It'll be pretty cool because I don't even know what I'm gonna name her yet.
No.
It's gonna be Italian. It's gonna have to be Italian. So I'm gonna have to look for some Italian names that we could use for that when we go back into that series. But the next episodes we probably based about him gaining her trust and being able to understand the stakes of what's going on and stuff like that. And it's probably the cliffhanger is probably gonna end on around, because I want you guys to keep on reading these because I really enjoy writing them, but I don't know if you guys enjoy reading them. They're pretty cool. I think I have something going on here that could be really awesome. To be honest, it's really, I think it's really neat. So I have why. Give me a second. I gotta do something here. You see it too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I didn't see that. Hate when this happens. Whenever you're typing another letter and the other letter goes into a capital as well. It sucks. It's taking so long for this stuff to load. I think I'll just deal with it later. When the stream's over, that way it's easier to deal with. Okay, we'll do that. We'll just leave it here for right now. Okay, put that down. Why? Go down. I don't want this. Anyway, right now. I mean, there's not really a whole lot else. I mean, I have stuff in store for episode 3, but I don't have anything. I have a direction I want to go into.
Yeah.
A big direction. Like, this is going to get, like, really weird. It's going to get really cool and really weird, and I hope people like it because there's a lot of stuff I have in mind. Following a Greek mythology based couch over my sister's place to stay. People hate when I do that. I guess we could talk about episode 3 as well. I mean, we don't have to right now, but I do have for episode 3, I do have some specific way to go into. Since there's only going to be 12 to 13 episodes here, I'm probably leaning more towards 12 episodes, and then maybe season 2 or 3 will have 13 episodes.
Yeah.
But and it's gonna be very long. It's gonna be very, very long. I hope this turns out well. There's still a lot of characters I haven't introduced yet. There's a lot of stuff about the antagonist we won't see until about season 2 or season 3, maybe. So that'll be intriguing. Really good to see.